This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video, I'm going to analyze the Grade 1 $1 million Whitney Stakes at Saratoga, Saturday, August 3rd, 2024. If you want more Saratoga stakes picks, you can find those on my YouTube channel. Click on the Shorts tab. I've been doing some short videos at Saratoga this summer. 8 for my first 12 with my top choices. I have multiple videos this week as well. So check those out if you're interested. And you can get a bonus free selection over at therunawayhorse.com, my personal website. My Better Bets blog. Each day I pick a race from around the country and I give out a free pick. So you can check that out over there. As well, on the runawayhorse.com, I have full card analysis at Del Mar each day that Del Mar runs. And you can purchase individual full cards, weekly and weekend packages, and the entire meet. So go over to the runawayhorse.com on my sales page for more details. And you can also get my Del Mar full cards at todaysracingdigest.com. Now we'll get into the analysis of the Whitney. It's the 11th race, Grade 1 $1 million Whitney for 4-year-olds and up. 1 mile and an eighth on the main track. Scheduled post time 5:42 p.m. Eastern. We have a full field in here. So let's dive right in with number 1 post time for Brittany Russell. Sheldon Russell's going to ride. This is the regular rider for this horse. You gotta love the consistency of this one. 11 starts, 8 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. He's won start at Saratoga, and he finished second in the Grade 1 Met Mile behind National Treasure last time out. No threat to that one, but he did rally to finish second. He's got a decent late kick. Just don't know if he's going to have that kind of late kick at 1 mile and an eighth. This is his longest and toughest test yet. He should save ground from off the pace, hoping for some pace help. He'll try to get involved. We'll find out more about him, how far he wants to run in this race. Number 2, Disarm for trainer Steve Asmussen. Joe Rosario is going to ride. Very disappointing in the Stephen Foster last time out. He was 4-1. He was stepping up in class in his second start of the year. He was a decent 3-year-old. He was second in the Louisiana Derby, third in the Lexington Stakes, fourth in the Kentucky Derby, first in the Grade 3 Matt Winn, fourth in the Jim Dandy. He was second in the Travers Stakes. Then he was laid off, came back, and he looked good, winning an optional claiming race just against 3 rivals there. Stepped up into the Stephen Foster last time, 6th, beaten 7 lanes, didn't really get involved in that race. So now his 3rd start of the year, 3rd start after a layoff. He has won at Saratoga before, 3 starts with a win and a second. He's won at 1 mile and an eighth before. He has some tactical speed. He should stalk the pace, but he's going to have to step up his game big time. Number 3, National Treasure is your 9-5 morning line favorite for trainer Bob Baffert. Flavien Prat is going to ride back here. He's a 4-time winner. And he is a 3-time Grade 1 winner. He won the Grade 1 Preakness. He stole that one on the front end last year. And then he won the Grade 1 Pegasus World Cup earlier this year. And then prior to that, he was second beaten the nose in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile behind Horse of the Year Cody's Wish. So that was a good effort there. And then he came back and he won the Pegasus World Cup in his first start this year. He shipped to Saudi Arabia in the Grade 1 Saudi Cup. He was 4th in a 14-horse field. And then the Met Mile, he cut back to 1 mile last time out. He dominated that one by more than 6 lengths. They're going to try to want to get him all over the pace in here. He won the Preakness on the front end. In the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, he set the pace there and missed by a nose. He chased from second in the Pegasus World Cup, and then in the Met Mile, he was all over the pace, setting that pace and then pulling clear in the stretch. So National Treasure is one that wants to get all over the pace and inside speed in here, and they're going to have to send him out of there, and he should be all over the pace. Number 4, Warrior Johny. He's one that likes Saratoga. He's 2 for 3, and he's 2 for 4 at 1 mile and an eighth. And he earned a nice speed rating last time in an optional claiming race at Saratoga at 1 mile and an eighth on July 11th, rallying from off the pace and winning by 4 lengths, stepping way up in class here. He was in the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup last year. He was 7th, beaten 10 lengths. Bright Future won that one. He's back in here. For Warrior Johny, it's just a question of class. We know he likes the course. We know he likes the distance. Tyler Gaffalione is going to ride, and we don't know where he classes up. He's going to have to run the race of his life. He did look good last time, though, but big step up in class here. First Mission, I've always liked this one. He's number 5, and he's 9-2, and he's had 9 starts with 5 wins and 2 seconds. He won the Grade 3 Lexington Stakes last year. I originally picked him in the Preakness, but he ended up getting injured, and he had to scratch. He wasn't able to run in the Preakness. And then he came back in the Grade 2 Clark last fall, and he just missed that race by a nose. That was a good effort. Pegasus World Cup, his worst effort, 9th beaten 20 lengths. The Grade 3 Essex, he dominated that one at Oaklawn. And then the grade 2 Ali Sheba in the slop at Churchill, he dominated that one. But then when he stepped up in class for the grade 1 Stephen Foster, he was the favorite. He was up on the pace. The pace wasn't that fast, and he wasn't able to go with the top runners late. He was fourth, beaten a little more than 3 lengths. Florent Geroux's going to ride back. He's 1 for 4 at this distance. He's one that's capable. I can see him working out a good tactical trip, but there was no excuses in that Foster last time. I think he was probably going to, or he's probably going to want to, in this spot, end up stalking the pace and not battling on the pace like he did last time. Number 6, Miracolo, 20-1 morning line. He's run once at Saratoga with a second place finish, and he's 0 for 7 at a mile and an eighth with 2 seconds and 2/3. So I don't think he can win, but if you're playing exotics, trifectas, and superfectas, you can probably throw him in. He's run well in multiple stakes races in his career. Grade 3 Smarty Jones last year, he won that one. He was 3rd in the Pennsylvania Derby, 2nd beaten ahead in the Grade 2 Fayette. In the Clark, he was 3rd. Pegasus World Cup, 6th, beaten 14 lengths. Gulfstream Park Mile, Grade 2, he was 3rd. Grade 3 Go Sapper at a mile and a 16th, he won that one by a neck. Grade 2 Ali Sheba, he was 3rd. So as you can see, multiple times in stakes races, he's run credible races, and I think that trifecta, superfecta, he can be used. Number 7, Crupi could be the best closer in this race. He's run 4 times at Saratoga, 2 wins, 2 third-place finishes, 8 starts at a mile and an eighth with 3 wins, a second, and a third. So probably even longer could be better for him, but we know he's a multiple winner at a mile and an eighth, and he won the Queens County, a stakes race at a mile and an eighth, and the Discovery last year. So no problem with this distance. Pegasus World Cup, he rallied to finish 3rd. National Treasure won that one. Senior Buscador was 2nd. He was a clear 3rd at 34-1 odds. Dubai World Cup, he was 10th, beaten 19 lengths. And then in his last 2 starts, the Grade 2 Suburban, he was my top choice at Saratoga at a mile and a quarter. He went last to first, and that was on June 8th, Belmont Stakes week, in the Belmont Stakes undercard. It was a speed favoring track, and he was able to overcome that speed bias to win that race. And then last time out, the Grade 2 Brooklyn, next was the heavy favorite. He's the best long distance runner out there on dirt in this country, and at a mile and 3/8, next dominated that one by more than 9 lengths. Crupi came running from last to finish 2nd. Irad Ortiz Jr. rides back, 3rd start after a layoff. He will be running late. He can hit the board. Tumbarumba, number 8, he's 20-1 morning line, and he's never run at Saratoga, and he's had 2 starts at this distance with a 2nd and a 3rd. I think he's more of a 1-turn mile, up to a mile and a 16th horse, and when you get to these longer distances against this kind of company, I think that he could be up against it. Very consistent, 15 starts, 5 wins, 5 seconds, and 2/3. Luis Saez will ride. He's got some tactical speed. I just don't think when the real running begins around the far turn and into the stretch that he's going to be able to keep up with some of the others. Number 9, Bright Future for trainer Todd Pletcher. And this one is a son of Curlin. Javier Castellano will ride back, and Castellano has a good record with this one. And this one is 2 for 2 at Saratoga, 1 for 1 at the distance. Castellano guided this one to victory in an optional claiming race at Saratoga last summer, chasing from 2nd, winning by almost 5 lengths. Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup under Castellano, chased from 2nd, opened up by 2.5 lengths in that mile and a quarter race, and then just held by a nose there. And then the Breeders' Cup Classic, there wasn't much closing going on there. He had post 10 in a 12-horse field. He was last after 6 furlongs, and then he did get involved late, but it was belatedly. The race was really over at that point, but he was 6th, beaten 3 3/4 lengths. So good late energy to split a 12-horse field in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and it was a race that forwardly placed runners did well. And then he made his first start of the year, the Grade 3 Salvatore Mile, and at Monmouth Park, he was the favorite. He was sitting in mid-pack, and then he got shuffled back. He was 6th, and then he found some running room in the stretch and found his best stride late to win by a length and 3/4 under Castellano. So Castellano was aboard for those 3 victories in his last 4 starts. So for him, he's got some tactical speed. Post 9, he'll probably sit an outside stalking trip. Skippylongstocking, another one with an outside stalking trip, likely 10 starts at this mile and an eighth distance, 4 wins, a 2nd and 2/3. So he is best at a mile and an eighth. Saratoga, he hasn't run. He comes out of the Foster. I'm not sure how strong of a race the Foster was. We'll find out because we have some horses that ran in the Foster, 3 horses in this race coming back and running here. Kingsbarns and Pyrenees ran 1-2 in the Foster, And those two horses with Pyrenees winning the Pimlico Special and Kingsbarns running second there. So they just reversed decisions in the Foster, and they were the two best horses that day. Skippylongstocking was my top choice in the Foster, and he ended up finishing an even third. I like his tactical speed, but with that outside post, he's going to be, or with an outer post, he's going to be stalking wide. He might lose too much ground. We'll have to see what kind of trip he can work out under Jose Ortiz. Number 10, Arthur's Ride. 6 starts, 3 wins in 2 seconds, and he likes Saratoga. 3 starts with a win in 2 seconds. Hasn't run at a mile and an eighth yet, but last time at a mile and a quarter, didn't have any trouble with that. He was running in all one-turn races in his first 5 career starts, and then last time, optional claiming 62.5 non-winners, 2 other than at a mile and a quarter on June 7th, Belmont Stakes week. He just dominated from the inside post, his first start around 2 turns. He got clear early. The fractions were below par, 47 and change, 112. And he was just clear and sailing on the lead. He just widened throughout, and he won by a dozen lengths as the favorite. And I liked him that day. It was a good effort. And now Bill Mott's son of Tappet here is going to step up into the stakes ranks for the first time. Can't ignore that last start. National Treasure is going to be his main pace rival, and he's a classy one. So we'll have to see what Arthur's Ride does. If National Treasure goes, he should be close, chasing that one, possibly dueling with that one, or maybe he can get to the lead, depending on how that all plays out. Number 12, Charge It, rounds out the field for trainer Todd Pletcher. John Velasquez will ride, and he's 4 for 15 with 3 seconds and a third. He's one that used to be good enough to be considered in a race like this, but his recent form is not very good. He's 0 for 4 at this distance with 1 second-place finish. He was second in the Gulfstream Park Mile last year, and then he won the Grade 2 Suburban. But since then, he was 4th beaten 10 lengths, 4th beaten 5, 4th beaten 10, 3rd beaten 4 lengths, and then 5th by 7 and a quarter lengths last time out. So for this horse, he's just not in great form right now. He's 30 to 1 morning line. Johny V, he's going to reconnect with his winning rider. Outside post, he's 0 for 1 at Saratoga. He's up against it in here. He was in the Whitney last year. He was 4th, beaten 10 lengths. And this field looks like a tougher field, Whitney field, than we saw last year. With White Barrio, Zandon, and then Cody's Wish, not really a 2-turn horse. So White Barrio was able to win the Breeders' Cup Classic out of that. And Zandon came out of that race. And it was a productive race in the Whitney last year. But Charge It hasn't done anything in quite some time since the Suburban. So for Charge It, got to throw him out from the outside post. I'll give out my top 4 choices in here, beginning with my 4th choice, as that's going to be number 11, Arthur's Ride. I think that he's one that can't ignore that last start. Maybe he's an up-and-coming sort, late bloomer. Maybe he'll just jump up there and be really good. I like the pedigree. Tappet, Point Given, the Dam Sire. I was a big fan of Point Given. For him, he should be up on the pace. If the track is favoring speed, we'll see how he does. There is a chance that there is a wet track, so we'll have to see if they do get some rain. There's a chance of scattered showers at Saratoga for Whitney Day. We'll see how that all comes into play. Number 7, Crupi will be my 3rd choice. I like his chances underneath. Best closer in this race. I think he can sit back and get a piece of it. That's what he did in the Pegasus World Cup at 34 to 1 odds. Last time he rallied for a piece of it in the Grade 2 Suburban against lesser company, he was able to get up. I think there's at least 1 or 2 others that could be better than him in here, but I wouldn't be surprised at a price if he rallied and hit the board. My 2nd choice is going to be National Treasure. I liked him in the Preakness last year. I liked him in the Met Mile last time out, and no knocks on this one. He's going to be out there. If he can get out there and control the pace, they probably won't catch him, but Arthur's Ride could apply some pace pressure in here. And we'll see if he does that and how exactly the pace scenario plays out. But I'm going to go with number 9, Bright Future is my top choice in the Whitney. I like that effort in Salvatore Mile. I like the fact that he's 2 for 2 at Saratoga, and he's 1 for 1 at this mile and an eighth distance. I like his tactical speed. He's earned strong late pace ratings in his last 4 starts, triple-digit late pace ratings. So he's got that good positional speed, and then he can finish off the race as well. So he can stalk, and he could have enough of a kick to hold off the late runners. So I think he'll sit there within hailing distance and get the job done at 5 to 1. Decent enough price, I think, on a Grade 1 winner in this race, a wide open renewal of the Whitney Stakes. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this horse racing content. Keep checking my YouTube channel each week for all of these handicapping races, stakes races that I do from around the country, video shorts. Go over to the runawayrhorse.com, my Better Bets blog for more free selections, my Del Mar full cards also at the Runaway Horse. And that'll wrap up this video, and until I see you next time, good luck at the races.